All right, so I had a couple requests to help a little bit further with tree diagrams in probability. So this video is very quick and it's going to do 3 different styles of tree diagrams based on 3 different styles of problems that you might see. So I do encourage you to watch all 3 because if you do skip any of them, you're going to miss something from each problem. So this one says the letters from the word haven are placed into a bag. You pick one letter and then you spin the spinner below. And in case you want that little bit of reassurance, my colors, I have, I can't write on the spinner for some reason, but this is blue, purple, green, orange. So the first thing I do is I pick a letter from the bag. So I make my starting point, and when I pick a letter from the bag, I have 5 separate outcomes. Okay, 5 separate outcomes. Those outcomes are H, A, V, E, N. They're the 5 letters in the bag. Now, after that, I spin the spinner one time. And remember, my spinner has blue, purple, green, and orange. So if I get a letter H on my first pick, I could get any of those 4 colors when I spin the spinner. So I could get blue, purple, green, orange. And that is the same set of 4 outcomes for each of these letters here. If I picked an A, I could still spin the spinner and get a B, a P, a G, or an O. So I just kind of do those same 4 outcomes off of every single letter from the word haven. And then when I go to create so I'm finished now. I should say that. I'm finished with my tree diagram right now because I've done the 2 steps in my problem. I had to pick a letter, then I had to spin the spinner. So when I need to create my sample space, I'm going to type this. I'm a little bit of a faster typer than I am writing here. So this is when I just go HB, and then I keep going through my tree diagram. HB, then HP, then HG, HO. Okay, now I go to the A's. AB, AP, now I'm going to have to come up here. AG, AO. VB, VP, VG, VO. And then I keep going with my E's. EB, EP, EG, EO. NB, NP, NG. I'll fix that in a second. NO. I make this, there we go. So that's how I find all of my outcomes in my sample space from the tree diagram. I just go to each branch and I basically read through each one. Okay, I'm only going to do the sample space one time. What I really want you to see is I want to see how to create those different styles of tree diagrams. So this tree diagram will be when you have 2 completely different steps. The first step was picking a letter. The second step was spinning the spinner. This tree diagram is when we have the same step and we do it twice. So in this case, we have the letters from the word haven, and we pick one letter, and then we put it back in the bag so it can be picked again, and then we choose a second letter. So we're still picking a letter first, but then we're picking a letter again the second time. All right, so my first step is picking a letter, and when I pick a letter, I have 5 outcomes, HAVEN. And then in my second step, I put the letter back so all the letters are still in the bag, and I pick a letter again. So my outcomes are still the same, HAVEN. HAVEN. And we just kind of keep repeating that over and over again here. And I'll do this quick, right? HAVEN. 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 So no matter what letter we picked on the first pick, because we put it back in the bag, we can pick it again for the second pick. So that's what this tree diagram would look like when we do the same step twice in a row. Last tree diagram is almost the same as the second one, but we have a variation here. This time we pick the letters from the word haven, and whatever letter we get, we keep it out of the bag. So maybe I pick the letter H and I keep it out, and then I choose a second letter. So that's going to affect our second pick here. So that's why this one's really interesting to see. I want to show you this one, and then we're finished. Okay, so my first pick, I can get any letter in the bag, H-A-V-E-N. Then remember, whatever my first pick is, I keep it out of the bag. So my second pick is without that first letter. So this one we really have to pay attention. So in this case, I picked an H first. So that means for my second pick, I don't have an H. In this case, I picked the letter A first. So that means the H is back in the bag. The A is not in the bag. So you are going to get letters H, V, or N. The third option here, I picked the letter V first. So that means I have all the letters there except for the letter V. That's H-A-E-N. Here, I picked the letter E first, so I have all the letters except for the letter E, H-A-V-N. And for this last one, I picked the letter N first, so I have all the letters except for the letter N. So this is a different type of tree diagram where that first outcome has something happen so that it's not possible to get picked in the second outcome, in the second step of the problem. So this is just a little bit different. I wanted you to see one like this as well. Okay, that's all. Thanks for watching. If you have any additional questions, just ask.